All right, everybody, welcome back to the OSHA subreddit for people to share their very safe workplace environments. Brought to you, of course, by our sponsors, the like button, located right below the video, and for the final time this week, quality content, my clothing line at qcathletics.com. Check it, link in the description. Let's start off with number 19, safety first. Here's a super stable rack at my warehouse. Yes, seems good. I hope it's not carrying a whole bunch of weights. You know, it's interesting, actually. I was gonna buy a full squat rack cage initially when I was building out my home gym, and then I saw that technically you're supposed to bolt those into the floor, and I was like, I don't want to drill holes into the tile flooring there, but is it going to be a problem? And then I saw other photos. People don't really bolt them into their floors usually, but you're supposed to, and then I was like back and forth on the whole thing. But it seems like, at least with squat racks, people do get away with not bolting it into the floor. So hopefully the metal won't bend too much further. On the plus side, metal doesn't usually snap. It'll usually just kind of bend more and more and more, and hopefully you can save it before it falls down and goes bad. Fingers crossed. Removed an outlet cover to install a new outlet. This was live and just covered up. That doesn't seem very good. It seems like there've been a few fires over the years, but it kind of cauterizes itself, melts the wires back together, and then it's good to go again. And then they kind of come apart. We get another fire. It seals itself back up, and we're all good to go. Just imagine if, like, I had all my electrical outlet covers. They look fine around the house. None look terrible, but imagine if that one looked totally normal, and then you take off the electrical outlet cover, and it's like, oh, that's not gone well at all. Huh. All right. Love to see it. Wait, what? Oh, this is scaffolding. Oh, I mean, that's a smart way to do it. Whether they got like some kind of bracket here hanging off of one ladder, and they use it to mount the other ladder, and it's probably pretty stable, to be honest with you. I mean, that thing's probably in the dirt, leaned up against the house. Bracket's probably pretty sturdy. And then, I mean, that thing's not going anywhere. That thing's, why not? Why build a whole scaffolding when you can just not? Dude, I got a new light for kind of my entrance area, and it's so frustrating because the light location is just such so that you can't quite get to it by putting a ladder at the top of the stairs, because the ladder will be just slightly off center of it, and you need a couple people to, like, one to unscrew the light, the other to hold it while it's being unscrewed, and vice versa when you're installing. And it's just, we're gonna have to build this whole scaffolding thing over the downstairs area just in order for one person to be able to get up on the ladder in order to help uninstall this light that probably weighs like 5 pounds. We have to build a whole scaffolding setup in order to do it. And if I could get away with something like this, I mean, that'd be awesome. Saw one in the wild today. Do we have another DIY scaffolding and ladder setup? How is this becoming so common? What? It's just, okay. I like how this is not nearly as secure looking as the last one. The last one didn't look like it's going anywhere. This one, I'm not so sure. If that one is not, vertical or angled in, I wouldn't really trust. I guess it's kind of being held in by that. But then where's this? I don't like this one as much. Is that ladder supposed to be like extra security so this one doesn't go places? I guess like this is across a couple of pretty sturdy looking brackets here. So I didn't know this was such a common technique. No safety, no problem. I don't even know what's happening here. The man, he doesn't even look like he's climbing ladders. He looks like he's trying to save the ladders from falling down. Like he's hanging on. He's got the rungs of the ladders held up by his toes, and he's like, all right, this is a predicament. Not sure what to do. They didn't train me for this one. Do I let the ladders go and then just slide down the roof myself? Because where's this ladder held up? It's not held up by anything. It's just, he's holding it up. I believe the point of a ladder is that it helps you climb up. In Soviet Russia, ladder climb you. It's what's happening here. Seen on neighbor's roof. No harness, no eye protection, and trousers round his knees? Wait, why would you want to be on a roof? This is the Wait, it's some next level sagging, dude. Although it looks like he has pants under his pants. But why would you want to? You're making it so, like, God forbid you slip or something, you have no range of motion in your legs. It's like, I see other people, they go up on the roofs and they just take some rope, they tie it around their knees. It's just to make it kind of hard mode, because it's too easy to clean off your roof if you have full range of motion in your legs. I need to up the challenge, so if I ever slightly lose my balance, I don't have the ability to recover and I just fall off. But if I fell off, it means I know I wasn't doing it right, and I should have learned. I should have been better. I should have been better at balancing, because hard mode is where it's at. Job site today, I'm a superintendent, and yes, that vein on my forehead was sticking out. That just seems uncomfortable. Is he just sitting on some, like, 2x4s sticking out of that? I feel like that just hurts. He's like sitting on the diagonal edge of a piece of wood. It's gotta be uncomfortable, even if you're wearing like some, I don't know, tough jeans or something. Put a hole in him. Right in a really bad spot at the same time. It just looks like he's in pain. It's as if there was some kind of rabid dog on the ground and the dude just like Looney Tunes himself up the pole and was like, I'm not coming down until that thing goes away. Was told there was to be an extension ladder on site. I'd do it. I mean, I've done plenty of janky setups to reach light bulbs in my house. My favorite of which is just four bar stools as the base, put the other bar stool on top, and then you got really good access up there. I have purchased a ladder since then, more recently actually, for another light that I installed due to my home improvement kick with the crown going on. But honestly, I mean, dude, stack a couple of tables, put a ladder on top, perfect, brilliant. I see no problem. I'd climb that thing in a heartbeat, although I'd be a little bit skeptical of the getting up. If I could get up there without issue, I'd be fine. I guess you get on one table, then you get on the next one. Hopefully I'd be worried about like a lack of friction in between the plastic table surface and the legs there, but otherwise, guess we can just have fires then. Is that a thing that's just mounted inside of the sprinkler head? Can that accidentally like trip off a sprinkler? I don't know how sprinklers work entirely. I guess they're probably controlled by some master location in the event of smoke or fire. I don't know if they're set off independently, if they're in proximity to heat or something, but could you accidentally snap whatever keeps them intact and then it just starts spraying the gross water that's like almost worse from what I've heard? Like, if the fire is not going to do a great deal of damage, you're almost better off with the fire than the sprinkler water, because sprinkler water has just been sitting for ages and it has a bunch of gross residue in it and just absolutely ruins everything that it lands on. I think I hit something. I do too. Maybe this is actually just a different angle of the first post that we saw with the thing kind of, not screwed in, except this looks slightly more detached. Hey, at least it's not falling over. That's good. And what is the perspective on this? It's weird. It's like, are there supposed to be shelves that are on this part? I guess did it get knocked out so they took off whatever it was on top of? Or something like that? Just trying to figure out what the use of just this empty space. Maybe it's just extra support for whatever this stuff is holding. I bet that happens every now and again in warehouses. People just accidentally running a forklift into something and breaking it. No fires allowed, I guess. I mean, you gotta put something somewhere. If there's no other room anywhere else in the store, we've never had to use this fire exit anyway. Why does it exist? Well, in case of an emergency where something, the fire is blocking the other side. I'm sure that, with as many people as would be panicking trying to get out, they'd be able to move that out of the way pretty quickly. That wouldn't be a problem. I'm sure just a few seconds isn't going to make all the difference in the event of a fire or something like that. Perfectly fine. Just like, that one time we were on this subreddit and there's a fire exit that just had a wall behind it. This is better than that, at least. I've been late of stuff, but this is pushing it. Let me see. The expiration date. 1993, dude. Man, and I thought it was bad when the elevators at the gym I used to go to were like a year late on their inspection slips. and they were breaking all the time and just bouncing up and down when you got in them. Thank goodness, dude. You know, if there's one thing, one intangible, aside from just like the actual being in the gym and driving to and from it, the fact that I now have a home gym means I don't have to deal with the elevators in that complex ever again. And that's a win. Doing cord inspections, was wondering why this cord felt warm when used. I'm not an electrician, but I'm assuming that's not particularly safe for, you know, it to be really rusty and a bunch of junk on it and really close to things that look like they could be flammable and just kind of messy and stuff like that. I bet you that if you looked inside the wiring of many old buildings, you would find a million things that look similar to this. I bet it's not all that uncommon. I bet that some of the things that you would see if you were a building inspector just make your skin crawl and make you afraid of going into any building that exists ever for any reason. My buddy sent me this from his job site today. What is the goal here? Are you working on the side of a cruise ship? You just like disembark from the beach and then, you know, there's a cruise ship out in the water and you just, you know, paddle over there with some oars because it doesn't look like there's a motor on that thing. I want to know what they're working on. Are you trimming trees over there? Maybe they're tree trimmers. And it's just you wobbling. God, the amount of sway that you must get when you're on the top of that thing. Whew. No, thank you. It's enough when you're just on the deck of a boat. Then you add like another 30 feet on top of that. I'm good. This is me about 6 years ago. We were trying to measure how deep the water was to build a cofferdam around an intake pipe. I know what those words mean. I don't work for that company anymore. I'd be looking up at this right here, just kind of panicking. What if the person who's inside the thing hits the button that releases this and I just get eaten by a bulldozer? Well, not a bulldozer, a digger or whatever it's called. I don't like that. I don't like the fact, like, can we just remove that thing before I get in there? You know, it's like I realize it's probably not gonna happen. It's probably not gonna shut on me or just come loose and I'm gonna get eaten. But I'd feel a little bit better if we got rid of that part. It's just like, it's the rule where even if it's a fake weapon, like an airsoft weapon, you don't point it at somebody unless like that the intent is to shoot. It seems like the same thing here. You don't put someone inside the thing that can eat them unless that's a possibility, is they get eaten and they're okay with that. Don't worry, got the safety squints on, boss. This just makes me super nervous. Why? Like, not only is that light probably just blinding, but it's also shooting sparks all over the place. Wait, why? This almost looks like it should be a stock image that was embellished in Photoshop. Like this, none of this was actually here when the photo was taken. They just added all the electrical effects after in Photoshop. I wonder how loud the explosion was. I am a sleeping giant. I can release enough energy to penetrate 9 feet of concrete block. Whew. It's a good little warning right there to make sure you keep them chained up. It's actually kind of funny that they wouldn't use this as a demonstration, like just have a chain around the top just to communicate to everybody, hey, make sure you keep them chained at all times, because if it falls over and it goes bad, it can just, you know, be a rocket ship if it's just, you know, being propelled from the top, or kaboom. I guess the kaboom is less likely if it falls over, but I don't know for sure. Man, I wonder if, like, if you were in proximity to that, would that demonetize you just from the shockwave of the gas being released? I would hope not, but that's so much force to just like a zipper metal open. Whew. All right. It's like garage door springs. I love garage door springs, dude. Every time there's ever a thread on Reddit about what's something that you encounter in everyday life that's actually really dangerous, garage door springs are always the first thing there. It's always people being like, yeah, don't work on garage doors yourself. That's, it's fun to do things around the house and you feel like you're saving money. Garage door, don't do it. Call in the experts for that one. Do some other stuff. There's a lot you can, not garage doors. A lot of potential energy in those springs that's just waiting to be released. Anyway, that's pretty much it for OSHA for the last month. Make sure to like if you liked. Check the playlist in the description if you want to catch more of the sub. Subscribe, hit the bell button. See ya.